Welcome to Global Pressure Points, where we explain global events, geopolitics, and strategic shifts calmly, clearly, and without the hype. Recently, the United States deployed an aircraft carrier strike group to the Middle East as tensions with Iran remain elevated. This move has sparked questions and speculation about what it really means. Is this a step toward conflict or a strategic signal designed to prevent one? Let's break it down carefully, using facts and context to understand the bigger picture. In late January 2026, the U.S. Navy moved a carrier strike group, led by the USS Abraham Lincoln, into the Middle East region. This deployment happened during a period of heightened diplomatic tension between Washington and Tehran, alongside ongoing regional instability and security concerns. Now, U.S. officials have emphasized that the presence of this carrier group is intended to support regional stability and readiness, not to signal immediate military action. That distinction is really important because it frames how we should interpret this entire event. It's less about preparing for a fight and more about ensuring the region remains stable. So, let's look at what this deployment actually involves. What exactly is a carrier strike group? And why is its presence so significant? An aircraft carrier strike group is one of the most powerful and flexible military formations in the world. It's not just one ship. It's a small, self-sufficient fleet. It typically includes a massive nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, which acts as a floating airbase. Accompanying it are multiple guided missile destroyers, which provide a defensive shield against air, surface, and underwater threats. There are also support and logistics vessels to keep the entire group supplied with fuel, food, and munitions for extended periods. On board the carrier, you have a whole air wing of fighter jets, surveillance aircraft, and defensive systems. Together, these assets provide incredible air power, sea control, intelligence gathering, and defensive capability, all without relying on foreign bases. This self-reliance is key. Even when a strike group is just sitting in international waters, its presence carries strong strategic significance. It's a powerful symbol of military reach and readiness. Of course, the timing of this deployment is everything. It didn't happen in a vacuum. It follows a period of rising political tension between the United States and Iran, alongside reports of internal instability and protests within Iran. Add to that some very strong diplomatic warnings from U.S. leadership, and you start to see the context. The timing suggests a focus on preparedness rather than urgency. When leaders describe deployments like this as precautionary, it usually reflects a strategy focused on deterrence, not escalation. It's about being ready for anything, so that hopefully you don't have to do anything. This is a classic move in the great game of geopolitics, positioning your pieces on the board to influence your opponent as next move. It's a message that says, we're watching, and we're ready. So, what is the official reason for this move? According to U.S. military officials, the carrier group is positioned to support security and stability in the region. In practical terms, these kinds of deployments aim to achieve several goals. First, they reassure regional partners and allies that security commitments are being upheld. Second, they help protect vital international shipping lanes, which are crucial for global trade. Third, they safeguard critical energy infrastructure, like oil and gas facilities, which the world economy depends on. And finally, they improve monitoring and early warning capabilities, allowing for a quicker response to any potential threats. This overall approach is commonly known as deterrence through presence. It's about showing up and making your capabilities visible, with the hope that your presence alone is enough to maintain the peace and prevent any hostile actions. Now, let's look at this from the other side. What does this signal to Iran? From a strategic perspective, the deployment sends several clear, unspoken messages. The first signal is that the U.S. is closely monitoring all developments in the region. Nothing is going unnoticed. The second signal is that military options, while not the first choice, remain available if needed. It keeps all possibilities on the table. And the third signal is that existing security commitments to allies in the region remain firm. Iran, for its part, has stated publicly that it views any direct attack as a serious escalation. However, it's crucial to understand that military presence alone does not mean conflict is just around the corner. It means that strategic options are being made visible, and that all sides are communicating through their actions, not just their words. It's a high-stakes, non-verbal conversation. This brings us to one of the most important ideas in geopolitics: deterrence. It's a concept that's often misunderstood. Deterrence isn't about starting a fight, it's about preventing one. By positioning powerful assets in sensitive regions, countries aim to discourage risky actions by their adversaries. They also want to reassure their allies and maintain leverage in any diplomatic negotiations. This deployment reflects a wide range of possible responses that go far beyond just military action. It includes continued diplomacy, economic measures, and a state of military readiness. So, when you see a carrier strike group on the move, think of it less as a sword and more as a shield, a tool designed to prevent conflict before it has a chance to begin. It's about creating a strategic environment where diplomacy has the best chance to succeed. Even without a single shot being fired, military deployments like this have a real impact on global markets. The economy is all about perception and risk. The mere presence of a carrier group in a volatile region can affect oil prices, as traders factor in the increased risk of disruption to supply. It can also raise shipping and insurance costs for commercial vessels passing through the area. These higher costs can then ripple through global supply chains. We might also see shifts in currency values and investment flows as money moves away from perceived risk and towards safer assets. These reactions show how strategic geopolitical decisions can have tangible economic consequences long before any military action ever occurs. The global economy is deeply intertwined with global security, and a move on the geopolitical chessboard can create waves in markets around the world. So to circle back to our original question, why did the U.S. send a carrier group to the Middle East amid tensions with Iran? The evidence suggests it's not necessarily to start a conflict, but to signal readiness, deter escalation, and shape the strategic calculations of everyone involved. In modern geopolitics, presence itself is a powerful form of communication. It's a way of saying things that can't be said through diplomatic channels alone. Understanding this helps us see global events like this one more clearly, without hype or exaggeration. It's about reading the signals and understanding the complex interplay of power, diplomacy, and deterrence. If you value calm, fact-based analysis of global affairs, make sure to subscribe to Global Pressure Points. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think military presence ultimately reduces conflict? Or does it increase the risk of miscalculation? Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next analysis.